Join the Perspective Shifts podcast, where we will be diving deep into conversation with listeners all across the world. Our objective is to go from victim to empowerment together. Don't miss out and join the conversation as Lauren Parente and special guests discuss important topics where everything is a matter of perspective. Let's move from problems to solutions in this highly anticipated podcast series with your host, Lauren Parente. Please welcome today's very special guest, here with us today to share their journey through empowerment and transformation. Enjoy!
Hi everyone, Lauren here. Welcome to this episode of our Perspective Shifts podcast. I hope your day is off to a great start. It's so nice to have you all here with us today, and I'm so happy to be speaking with today's guest, Pamela Shanehouse from Alli's Journey. Pamela is here with us today to share her story on what led to the creation of Alli's Journey, an organization which is determined to support the young adult cancer population, ages 18 to 35. Hi, Pamela. Welcome.
Hi, Lauren.
Pamela, it's wonderful to be connecting with you today. Thanks for your willingness to share your story on our Perspective Shifts podcast. It's an honor to have you here with us. Your story really inspired me when we enjoyed lunch together recently. You're such a strong woman. You know, you've been met with many challenges, and not only did you refuse to allow them to defeat you, but you made it an absolute point to turn them into an opportunity to help others. We are excited to have you share your story today on how Alli's Journey came to be and what it has set out to accomplish moving forward.
Alli's Journey is co-founded by my daughter, Alli Shiro Amar. And Alli was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma at the age of 19. In 1999, and we lost her in 2006 after 7 years, a remarkable fight. She was the one who launched it, and she launched it at a music event that we had. I think it was June 1st, 2006, and she passed away 7 weeks later, and she handed it over to me and other wonderful volunteers to move this charity forward. And that's what we've been doing.
How did you choose the ages of 18 to 35 to focus on providing support to?
It could be 18 to 40. Just the thing that's very important is the 18, is because 18 is the age that the Kids Hospital moves cancer patients into the realm of all the other major hospitals. So that means that you could be 18 years old, and if you have to stay over or be admitted for cancer treatment, you would be in a room with 60-year-olds or 80-year-olds. It wouldn't matter. When they're 18, it's a very tough age. So that's why we chose that age and that demographic.
I remember when we connected for lunch, you had mentioned that there's a lot of funding for the young children with cancer and even women with breast cancer, but there was that one gap that didn't see a lot of support. Is that the case?
Yes, that's absolutely the case. Things are changing now. There are some organizations that are beginning called the Adolescent Young Adult Program, AYA. People are starting to recognize, physicians and people within the hospital are recognizing this age group and the issues that arise with that. But we're the only charity that I know of, outside of what there is one other called Young Adult Cancer Canada. And they work out of Halifax, great organization. And what's great about that is they have call centers, they have people who talk to different young adults, and they have community conferences during the summer. But in our area, we're the only ones that are doing what we're doing. When you talk about children, there's a huge amount of support for Sick Kids Hospital. For a small fish in a big ocean. We felt that we needed to take this group and do whatever we could to support them. That's why we did this. And the other thing that we do, which is very important, is that we don't care what kind of cancer you have. We don't care what your gender is, and we're going to try to make it that little bit easier for you.
What inspired Alli to start a foundation with everything that she was going through and facing herself?
Alli always felt as if she was losing her identity because people were seeing her as cancer and not as Alli. And Alli was always somebody who helping people were the most important thing to her. Every time I was doing volunteer work, she was right by my side. She was very focused on helping other people. And I remember distinctly when she could barely stand up after transfusion or anything that she was going through at towards the end of the stage of before she passed away. She would be holding onto a bar, walking back. And if she saw a young adult, she would stop. She would introduce herself and she said, "Hi, I'm Alli, and I've been going through cancer treatment. I'm telling you that you'll get through it." So that was my daughter. And she knew that she needed to make some kind of impact into this area. And she trusted me. We were very close. And she trusted that I would make sure that this charity would move forward. And it's 13 years now.
She really cared. I know that caring is a value of yours, and you're motivated to ensure that the young adult cancer population feels cared for through various initiatives, such as your Comfort Bags project. What does it entail, Pamela?
These bags are a very sturdy bag that they can take to the gym or anything. It's a backpack. In the bag, we put items that we know they need, but they don't know they need them yet because they just started their treatment. The hard candy that they must have the minute that they start the chemotherapy, because as soon as the chemotherapy gets into their bloodstream, there is this disgusting metallic taste. And it's a taste that they can't get rid of unless they have that candy or something in the mouth at the beginning of their treatment. So we have a place to journal with a pen. We actually put in an adult coloring book and a blanket and socks and a hat and a water bottle. So we get the bags to the AYA program at Princess Margaret Hospital, and there they distribute them. And we're looking to be able to get close to 300 bags this year, because that's approximately 250, 300. And every young adult in Ontario that's diagnosed with cancer goes through Princess Margaret at some period. So that's what we're doing, getting great responses. And these young adults feel as if, oh my goodness, there's a charity that really cares. We can't make an impact in research, and we can't make an impact in specific diseases or anything like that. But if we can make an impact into every young adult that we get our hands on, then that's that personal aspect that Alli would be very proud.
I love that. What can people do to help? How can the community help?
Well, the best thing that the community can do is go to our website, which is allisjourney.ca, and it's ALLIS journey.ca. Purchase a bag. And they're $25. We know that we can put the items into the bag and we can get them to these young adults. We do have one very fun event that we're going to be doing in the fall. It's at Second City. We don't know what the dates are yet, but we'll be posting that on our website, and we'll tell you as soon as we know. And that's just a sit back and laugh. It's an improv night, and I have to tell you, it is so much fun. And I don't think people laugh as much as they should. You know, if we can bring some laughter back into an audience, we're also doing what Alli loved. She loved to laugh. She loved life. She really struggled through it, but she was Alli all the way through. She just did not let this cancer bring her down.
What long-term vision do you hold for your organization?
Well, what I'm holding for is, as the president of the charity, I'm looking for a group of individuals who really want to come over and help us move this organization forward. It would be thrilled to be able to give this presidency to some dynamo who is ready to move the organization forward to be able to help us. We need ambassadors to be able to bring the message out there, so we can receipt every donation that we receive, obviously unless it's an event donation and then we give just a portion of it. I'm happy to do what we can do now in Toronto.
How far have we come in serving the young adult cancer population, and what challenges lie ahead, Pamela?
Every day that we move forward with the community understanding that young adult cancer exists, and it exists in all different forms. So every bag that we get into every young adult will make them feel that little bit better. What I can say is, a parent who has gone through this, if they could say, I just found out about Alli's journey, I have just donated 2 or 3 bags in honor of my child, would you do that? And it brings it out with their network, and this person does that, and this person does that, that we know that this charity will stay alive. It's like a remarkable influencer to take it on and to say, hold it a minute, my brother or my sister is going through this. That's what we need, because it's very difficult to do it with just a group of 5 or 6 people.
What role does awareness play in moving an initiative forward?
You can't move an initiative forward unless you have influencers and donors helping you. You cannot be a charity in isolation. Awareness and social media and all of the areas, they all come together and they move the charity forward. So I'm very proud of the board that I have, just 5 of us. We also have other people who are out there, such as your organization, which we're very grateful to, and other people who we call our ambassadors who are helping us move this forward. So that's how important awareness is. It's critical.
It sure is. With regards to making shifts in perspective, moving from problem to solution, what inspires a person to want to make a difference and give back?
I used to be a professional fundraiser, and there was this really great sentence: your heartstrings are connected to your purse string. If you believe, or you've been hit by it, or if you know that cancer is one of the largest killers in the young adult age group, and you've been touched by it, if please God, Alli didn't put me into the perspective of, Mom, we do not have to raise money for organizations that have huge corporate support. We need to be able to raise money to support a specific group of people. She was in the thick of it. She got it. I was the caregiver, but she was the person who truly understood that there was nothing out there for that age group. Now, again, it was 13 years ago, and things have been moving forward exponentially with some different charities. There's a great charity called Team Shan, which is breast cancer focused, and lots of mothers who have started charities because their children have passed away. All of this is in memory to try to keep that legacy of our children alive. This is the main reason that we do it. But if we can help one person and that person can help another person, and it becomes that chain reactive, then we're doing what we need to do.
Is there one story that stood out to you most on your journey?
The first one is, we have been incredibly fortunate that Cineplex has been giving us movies, and we've been using the movie nights as fundraisers. And we just had our last movie night that we're doing was The Wizard of Oz on the big screen. And what I saw was 2 individuals, both coming in on wheelchairs with their family, who had just completed their treatment. I knew that that event was a success because we brought joy. 2 young guys who went out of their way. It was a rainy, crappy day. Went out of their way and watched this movie and left the theater thanking me for making their life that little bit happier for that time. So that to me was just really hit my heart. And the other one that really hit my heart was this young guy who we found just out of the blue because he was sitting in a chair at a business of a closest friend of mine. She was the one who happens to produce these bags. And she saw the bags and she looked at it and she said, "You have an Alli's Journey bag?" And he says, "Yeah, that's the most fabulous thing that was ever done for me." The minute I got that bag was the minute that I thought that somebody cared. I know I'm doing the right thing. It's a difficult job, but we're prepared to continue to do it.
That's amazing. And one person influences many. So with regard to your first story, the 2 young people, imagine how many more they influence because you took the time, to be present and make a difference in their lives. So going back to the whole ripple effect that you were speaking about earlier, it definitely serves its purpose to bring people together, and that's beautiful. And I just wanted to leave off with one thought. When we first met, Pamela, you expressed to me that you had been through one of the worst experiences anyone could possibly ever face, which is losing their own child, and that the pain is beyond anything that anyone could ever comprehend. In your darkest moments, Pamela, and for those who may be in a similar place or perhaps know somebody who is, what is your advice on moving forward?
First of all, you don't pull through because there's nothing to pull through. It's something that you breathe and you live through every day of your life from the minute that your child takes their last breath. I believe that it is something that you try to move. I live my life in honor of my children. I have 2 boys and I have 2 wonderful grandchildren and a daughter-in-law. And I live my life knowing that my daughter would expect nothing less from me. She handed me these jobs. She handed me a lot of work to do. And she knew that I had the strength to be able to do that. I know that the minute my daughter took her last breath was the minute that Pam Shane, as Pam Shane House was at that time. And now it's learning to become a very different person. The one thing that I can tell people, and I really hope that they understand this, loss is your own loss. You just have to move forward on your own 2 feet. And you just move. I read a beautiful article that spoke about when this person lost her child. She felt as if a part of her heart was amputated. It's a part of your heart that's amputated, and that is so true. And the other thing that I can say is reach out to people. If you know somebody who has also lost a child, they're the only people who can talk to you.
Reaching out and caring is what it's all about. And you guys have done a really great job of that. I am so grateful and inspired by the fact that you didn't give up and you didn't run away from your pain. Rather, you stood up and faced it, later even embracing it enough to help others. You are such a strong woman, Pamela, who inspires tremendous hope. Thanks for sharing your story with us here today. Alli's journey is such an inspiration. We're completely honored to be partnering with you and raising awareness and providing support. It is such an important cause, and you're making a big difference. We truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I appreciate you reaching out. I look forward to many things that we can do in the future.
Okay, everyone, to learn more about Alli's journey, please visit www.allisjourney.ca. That's ALLIS, journey.ca. Or email them directly at info@allisjourney.ca. You can reach out directly if you'd like to get involved with the organization's initiatives, and be sure to share this podcast with all of the change makers you know. The story of how Alli's journey began is so inspiring, and it's really great to be able to come together and continue moving this initiative forward. Thank you, everyone.